Okay, so this is the key to section 8.4, part 3. And in this section, you want to find the effective annual yield on each of these accounts and do the same thing for number 2. Keep in mind, though, that you have to show enough work as presented in class to receive full credit. So you have to do some work here. You have to show something. Okay, so the formula for effective annual yield is this. So this is what you have to use. You have to use the yield, effective annual yield is 1 plus r divided by n raised to the n power minus 1. So that's the formula you had to use. So all you had to do is just substitute your values into the form and you're done. Okay, so let's look at the part A. So you want to find the effective annual yield on an account that pays 7% compounded quarterly. So you'd say y equals 1 plus the rate is 7%. You have to convert that to a decimal. Some of you still don't do that. You must convert it to a decimal. And divided by n here is quarterly, so that's 4 times a year, all raised to the 4th power minus 1. And all you have to do now is just use your calculator. So on your calculator, you would say, you'd say parentheses 1 plus 0.07 divided by 4, close the parentheses, raised to the 4th power, okay, 4th power, and then minus 1, and press equal. And so that is about, I'm going to go ahead and list about 3 digits, so 0.072, let's say, right? Okay, to the nearest thousandth. So then we change that to a percent, and you get 7.2%. Okay? So that's the effective annual yield on an investment. So basically, what that means is this. See how you were getting 7% compounded quarterly? So if this was a simple interest loan where it was just compounded simple interest just one time a year, this would be the interest rate. So if the time was 1 year instead of 4 times a year, if the time is just 1 year, that will be your effective annual yield. That will be the interest rate. So that interest rate is comparable to 7% compounded quarterly. Okay? All right, same thing here. You use the same formula. So y equals 1 plus 0.045 divided by monthly is 12 times, all raised to the 12th power minus 1. And then use a calculator. You're going to get parentheses 1 plus 0.045 divided by 12 raised to the 12th power, and then minus 1. And you should get approximately equal to, again, round to the nearest thousandth, 0.046. And now you're going to change that to a percent. And that percent is 4.6%. Okay, so again, what that means is, see how the interest being compounded monthly and you are earning 4.5%. So if this was just simple interest, if that was just simple interest one time a year, that would be 4.6%. Okay? So if n is 1, meaning one time a year, then that would be 4.6%. Okay, so let's part 2. Now, determine the effective annual yield for each investment, and then you want to do some comparison. So it's the same type of idea here. You use that same formula. Use the same formula for these. So, except this time you want to assume there are 365 days in a year. So let's see if we need that. I don't think we need that at all. So that part wasn't needed because this is monthly and this is quarterly. So that part wasn't needed. Okay, so if rounding is required, round to nearest tenth of a percent. So if I'm going to round to nearest tenth of a percent, that's what this means, then I need the thousandths place. You have to round to the thousandths place. Okay, that's important. Okay? All right, so let's do the 7% first. So 7%, the effective annual yield will be 1 plus 0.07 divided by 12, all raised to the 12th power minus 1. All right, so let's see what that is. So in parentheses, you're going to say 1 plus 0.07 divided by 12, close the parentheses, raised to the 12th power minus 1 equal thousandths place 0.072, which is approximately equal to 7.2%. Okay? All right, and then for the 7.25%, the effective annual yield will be 1 plus, 7.25%, so 0.0725 divided by quarterly is 4, all raised to the fourth power minus 1. All right, so put that in your calculator. So parentheses 1 plus 0.0725 divided by 4, close the parentheses, raised to the fourth power minus 1 equal to the nearest thousandth, 0.074, which is approximately 7.4%. Okay? So the effective annual yield for 7% compounded monthly is 7.2%. The effective annual yield for 7.25% compounded quarterly is 7.4%. And the question is, which one's a better investment? So let's assume you are investing. This is a savings account, let's say. All right, so if this were a savings account, you were investing money into some tangible item or so, then the one that has a larger effective annual yield is the better one. So this is a large effective annual yield, so this would be the better investment. So 7.25% compounded quarterly. Okay? All right, so that is the key to section 8.4, part 3.